Hey guys, welcome back to TakeOver Tuesday. Thank you again so much for joining us. I really do value every single one of you who listen, who watch, and for those of you, this is your first time to ever be here. This is just a face-to-face, raw, heart-to-heart leadership talk from a guy who's been through the fire and wants to save you some trouble, but at the same time warn you about what you're going to go through and help you navigate through that. And, there's many of you that have watched, and we get hundreds and hundreds of people that text me and you don't comment. I need you to comment. I need you to like. I need you to subscribe, because that helps us tremendously, especially when we're trying to get the word out to leaders. So I really need your help right now if you could do that. I'm trying to maintain my composure a little bit, because I'll be honest with you, I'm having to temper my thoughts and my feelings with a little bit of reason and logic, because on the inside of me, there's really a righteous indignation where I just want to lash out, but I know that that's not the right answer. That's not God's answer. He has a different way. And like many of you, I was totally brokenhearted at the tragedy we saw unfold with Charlie Kirk, whom I've had the privilege of meeting. I never was close with him or friends with him. I don't want to give that impression, but I was close to some people who were close to him, and man, he was quite the individual. But what I've been trying to communicate in this moment, that I believe is a prophetic moment, a strategic time, not only for you as a leader, but for us in history, I've been trying to communicate to you that truth has a price. And the price for truth is the cost of your life. And if you're not willing to give your life, then that means some part of you is for sale somewhere down the line. And way too many leaders are for sale. So I've been trying to tell you what I've learned, because as you guys are listening to this episode, our church is under threats. I'm under threats. Law enforcement, FBI, other people, I've been told, are involved in investigating things. Leaders in our city are under threats just because we had a vigil to honor a man that we felt like had done great things. We were just part of it. It wasn't even our deal. We were just part of it. We just contributed and helped make it happen. And as a result of standing for truth, now the cost of truth is being realized. To which I say, I have no fear. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Because the reason that I believe that most people don't take an absolute stand? They're just spineless cowards. And if I'm talking to you and this is hitting you, I'm not trying to be offensive, but yet at the same time I am trying to be offensive. Because this generation can no longer stand a group of people who won't stand, especially when they call themselves leaders. I am absolutely shocked, mesmerized, baffled by the amount of pastors around America. I'm getting phone calls from your people, pastors, asking me what to do because you have not even said anything about the tragedy. They're calling me, asking me, should I leave my church? Should I even trust my pastor anymore? This is heartbreaking. And it's really hard to defend a leader in a powerful moment of history like this when you won't make a stand in front of your people. It's not going to be a shock to me that your people aren't going to stand for anything when the time comes either, including you, when your head is on the chopping block. So why is that? Why aren't more people speaking up? Why aren't more people filled with a righteous indignation about the tragic events of an innocent man being killed, a woman being widowed, and children being orphaned over simply telling the truth? Well, I'll tell you why. Because fear. They're afraid. And at the end of the day, when it comes to truth tellers, fear is the real enemy. So, institutions use fear all the time to control people. Fear of a job loss, fear of reputation loss, fear of being canceled on social media. They do all of this stuff to silence the truth. Governments use it to silence the truth. Fear. The Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Leader, find a place of intestinal fortitude. Look in the face of error, eyeball to eyeball, and spit in its face and tell it to go to hell. Make a stand for truth. Now, what are you doing when you stand for truth and you reject fear? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're choosing integrity over fear. A person who will not address the issues of the hour because of the fear of people, the fear of influence, the fear of money, the fear, whatever the fear is, whatever your phobia is, it's because you don't have the integrity needed to be the kind of leader that this generation deserves. You say, man, you're being hard. Yes, I am. How much more of this foolishness do we have to see go on before people speak up? Silence in the place of fear is, in my opinion, the greatest sin of our generation. You got to adopt the attitude that Paul adopted: for me to live as Christ and die as gain. We're so busy trying to live for all the comforts and conveniences of this world that we're not willing to pay whatever price is necessary. Again, I'm telling you, if your life is not on the line, something in you is for sale. And at the end of the day, that's an integrity problem. Fear makes leaders cowards. Fear. Let me tell you what faith does. Faith turns martyrs into movement makers. This will be the legacy of Charlie Kirk. His martyrdom, and yes, it is a martyrdom, has now turned him into a movement maker. Mark my words, you will see the rising up not in physical confrontations, at least not from people who believe in truth. But you'll see an uprising of people who are going to begin to make a stand and refuse to give up ground to irrationality, to stupidity, to lies, to indoctrination, to the propaganda, whether it's coming from the government or a schoolhouse. They're tired of it, and you're going to see it. So, leader, you need to get on board. Or what's going to happen is your leadership, your integrity is going to be in question. You hang in the balance right now. Please do not be found wanting. I've had my moments of fear. I really have. Where I really struggled. Because I was afraid of what was going to happen. Afraid of church splits, afraid of not having money, afraid of my name being smeared. I was afraid. Let me tell you what fear does. Fear controls you. And when fear controls you, truth can't lead you. So out of everybody, leader, you got to conquer this fear. Everybody battles it. So don't act like you don't have it. We all have it. I haven't. But you got to conquer this fear and make a stand for truth. Well, that's where I'm going to leave you today, and I'll talk about it some more on our next podcast. But please help me by sharing, subscribing. Help me. I want to get more messages like this to leaders. I want to challenge people, and the only way I know how to do it is right here, like I'm doing it. But I've got to have your partnership and your help to do it. I'm not asking you to give me money. I'm asking you to give me some of your influence and help me impact the nation and even the world. Thank you to all who's watched today, tuned in today. I hope you felt challenged. Again, ask yourself the question, are you for sale? I'll see you next time on TakeOver Tuesday.